And we're back. We're back. We're back
Hello.
with
Hello.
with another live stream, another workshop here. AI for all. Uh, this hackathon has been quite exciting. So many cool things getting built here. Um, um, I've been impressed so far. And today we're joined by Aditha and Bhumi. I've been practicing that earlier. I keep pronouncing it like it's from Spain, but I'll get it. I'll get it. Yeah, Aditha, how are you doing? You're going to be running a workshop with us so far. From what I gather, you've been with Albi and as well as some of Bitcoin, right? You've been some of Bitcoin student.
Yeah, I've
Could you tell us about that experience?
so I've been a summer Bitcoin student last year in last year's summer, and after that I've been continuing with Albi after an awesome summer with them, and after that I've been working part time with Albi, and then I just recently graduated, so I'm now full time. I'm now working full time with Albi.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah, yeah. That is amazing. So maybe you could give a little bit about your background and yeah, just however you want to introduce yourself
Yeah.
and tell us about this workshop that we're going to be doing.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Aditya and I'm from India and I'm a Lightning developer at Albi. And today we'll be discussing about the latest package app project by Albi. So it's a new project which is launched to support, like, to enable this value for value thing in the NPM package space, so that developers get real value that is in the form of sats for the awesome stuff they're building on NPM.
Okay, well, yeah, that sounds super interesting. I think funding in open source, just as a general topic, is something that that is definitely unsolved and lacking. Um, Boomy, how are you finding the hackathon so far?
Fun, like in both
It's
fun.
fun. Fun is mandatory, Boomy.
Fun
Come
is
on.
mandatory. Exactly. Yeah. No. I mean, a lot of great conversations, a lot of great projects. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this one. Quite new, like all these like ideas and teams and projects pushing like what we can do with Lightning. So yeah. And
All right.
ultimately, every idea leads to many new ideas. So that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I see you've been like really busy these past weeks, like hacking on a whole bunch of like random stuff there, doing workshops and this new the other link that you sent me today as well, using Cody's API. Yeah,
Yeah,
you seem really excited for the hackathon.
exactly. I mean, that's the cool thing. Like Cody, for example, in this case, built a nice building block, a nice API, like an L402 protected API for image generation and like all the AI stuff. And now suddenly it becomes easy to use these kind of things and build on top of it. So yeah, so that's
Well,
something to experiment with.
I hope other people follow in those footsteps as well. Registrations are still open. Yeah, so we want to see more people hacking. on Bitcoin with AI and all this kind of stuff. The more they build, the more cool stuff we get, and the more that you can build. Again, and hopefully
Numbers go
useful
up,
stuff
right?
as well. Yeah, exactly. But hopefully useful stuff as well, right? Um, all right. Well, Editha, let's get started, right? I think it's a bit late over by you, so I'm gonna put your slides up on stream. I'm gonna be in the backstage. The stage is all yours, right?
Yep. So
All right.
yeah. So hey again, everyone. So welcome to the tutorial for Package Zap by Albi. So Package Zap is a tool to send sats to package developers, similar to how you zap notes on Noster and also send boostergrams in the podcasting space. So this Package Zap consists of two packages. That is Package Zap, the library, and the command line interface tool. So in this tutorial, first we are going to go through the Package Zap CLI tool first, and then we'll go through the library so that you guys can also implement the awesome methods that we have to send sats to developers. So if you're a package developer and if you wish to receive sats whenever someone uses this command line interface tool, so all you need to do is include this thing in your package.json file. So it's like this. So funding should be as an object with the key value pairs type as lightning and the URL as lightning colon your lightning address. And we also have this example over here, and it's of Albi tools. It's another amazing package, npm package by Albi, which provides some awesome tools to build on lightning. And the main thing, the special thing about a package app is that it's interoperable. So that means you don't necessarily have to have a get Albi address. It works with any lightning address out there. So you can, but just don't forget to prefix it with lightning colon so that it doesn't throw you any warnings in VS Code saying that it's not in the proper format. So you just need to do lightning colon any lightning address that you have, and it works just fine. So coming back to it, and if you are wondering about what a lightning address is, then I would recommend you to check this link out. It's lightningaddress.com. It'll have everything you need to know about a lightning address. And if you need a lightning address, I would suggest you to go to getalbi.com/user/new, and you can fill this form up and get a lightning address instantly. And also after that, if you are now coming back to the supporters who wish to support and send sats to developers, all you need to do is run this command npx space getalb slash package hyphen CLI. And all you need to do is type this in your root directory of your project. And what this does is this goes through the package.json file, which is in your root directory, and it goes through each and every dependency in the mentioned in the package.json, be it dev dependency, peer dependency, anything. And if it has a lightning address, and if it has this funding details and has a lightning address there, it will send sats to all of them. So that's why if you don't want to miss out, then all you need to do again is to include the funding information in your package.json file. So let's now quickly go to a demo to show the same thing. So here I have this awesome Ellen project which uses a few dependencies here. And now if I am like very grateful to those package developers, so now I wish to send sats to them. So all I need to do is type npx space fund ln CLI. Now we wait, and then we have to install this package, and then let's see, it's being installed now. Yeah, and it's done. And one thing that we have to remember is this doesn't work with node versions greater than 18. So I'll just quickly switch to node version 18. And now I'll run the command again. So now it shows me a message that sends sats to your project's dependencies, and it's analyzing my package.json. And now it found 3 dependencies with lightning details. So let's for now send 30 sats. So that would be 10 sats each. And okay, it says it already has my NWC URL saved. So let's give a password. Okay, let's try it again. So what happens is, if it's your first time, then you'll get this the same thing. You'll have to approve NWC connection. So all you have to do is go to this link, and it'll say connect your wallet, and you'll have to connect here, and the connection is created now, and press enter to continue. And after that, the authentication is now successful, and it has to save the Nostr Wallet Connect URL, so that, like, for example, if here, like, I forgot my password, but what happens is, from the next time you use this same command, then all you need to do is type your password. I'll give the same password again. Now it saves it here, and now it's zapping all these packages, and the 3 packages are now boosted successfully. So that's how you use this CLI tool to boost sats to package developers, and to support the developers behind these packages that you love. So that's the CLI package. And now let's jump into see what the library is about. So the package app is also, this is the CLI tool. Again, it's the NPM link for this. And this is the link for the package app library. So how you can use this library? So that's mentioned in the same site here. So 1 second. Yeah. So that's mentioned in this library methods. Everything is can be found in the link packageapp.albilabs.com. And what this library methods provide you is 2 methods. One is get funding details. So this gives you the funding details of all the dependencies in the package.json folder on which this is run. So if you're like building an app where you want to split the sats, a few amount of sats to the dependencies that you are using in your project, then this is the go-to method. And if you are receiving this package.json from an API or some other file, which is not in your project or somewhere else, then the thing that you can use is fetch funding info. So what this does is, you basically have to specify the data, and also it accepts another parameter which is called as the depth. So what this does is, usually by default, what this does is it goes through the package.json data, and whatever dependencies are there, it'll only check those and then boost sats to it. But if you set the depth to 2, say 2 for example, then what this does is it also goes through the dependencies being used by the dependency. So that's the first set of dependencies are your direct dependencies, and dependencies being used by your dependencies are the indirect dependencies. So in this way, it goes through the levels. So if you say 2, it'll go to the second level and also boost the sats being used as the dependencies being used by your direct dependencies. So that's how this works. So in order to illustrate this even better, I also have a project built for you that you can also fork and use. So what this basically does is this uses the library tools of package app. So I'll show you quickly how you can do this. So we have this app folder here, and this is the basic React Vite application. And here what I did is I added this thing saying send 100 sats to the developer. So let's assume that you are the developer who built this project, and you also want to send sats to the dependencies that you're using. So if you can see here in the package.json file, we have these 3 dependencies and also these developer dependencies. So let's see if we can also support these dependencies as well whenever someone sends me 100 sats. And how I did it. So first of all, this is my lightning address, aditya@getalb.com. So that's mine. And I have this NWC URL. And how you can get one is to go to nwc.getalb.com, and you have to sign in here, and you can create your new connection, and let's just give it a name. For now, I'll just give it package.zap, and you can also set an expiry date and a budget. So let's say 100 sats, and I'll confirm, and you'll get this new secret that you can copy and simply paste it over here. So that's what I did. So that's how you can get your own NWC URL. It's simple, and all you need to do is sign up here. So not even sign up here, you just have to log in here using your already existing account of GetAlby. So that's how you get this NWC URL. And now what I did in code is that I've used these the other tools by Alby, which is the Alby.js SDK and also Alby tools. So let's jump right in and see what this actually is doing on pressing the boost button. So on clicking the boost button, what actually happens is it'll invoke this function, create invoice and split. So what this create invoice and split does is, first of all, it checks if your browser has Vebelen, and if it's not there, then it will suggest you to install an extension like getalb to get Vebelen on your browser. And then for now, I just because I mentioned 100, you can also place an input field here and pass it in to this. And for now, let's just say 100 sats. So that's the amount. And now I use this lightning address class from Albi tools to create to register my ln address here. And then I get this ln object, the lightning address class. And then the instance I call ln.fetch, so that it gets the details from the lightning address And then in order to fetch the invoice, so that you can boost sats whenever a user wants to boost sats, they need an invoice. So all this is being done for that purpose. And whenever the boost button is clicked, we need to request an invoice. For that, we need to specify the amount, and that is set as 100. So it's in Satoshi, and we'll set it as 100, and we'll get the invoice. And after getting the invoice, we'll send that in the send payment. So if you have the Vebelen, you must have already heard about what Vebelen is. If you don't know, there's a website called vebelen.guide and also vebelen.dev, where you can check all the methods that are provided in Vebelen. So here we're using the send payment because the user has to send a payment. And then we use the invoice.payment request because it expects a payment request to be sent to it as a parameter. And after sending it, we'll await it. So as long as the user presses confirm and sends sats, we'll wait. And then when we have the result, we check if it has a PMH so that the payment is verified. And then we split the now we have the our 100 sats in my account, that is aditya@getalb.com. So now what I do is, it's time to split the sats. So I have set a split percentage, and for this project, I would like to send 10% of the sats I receive to my fellow developers who have made these awesome dependencies for me. So I'm using this whole amount that I receive, and I'm multiplying it by the split percentage by 100, so that I get the split amount. And then I use the split sats function to send those sats to my dependencies. So what we are doing in the split sats is, so we first are fetching the information from our package.json file. So I've used this fetch funding info. So as you can see here, first it expects the JSON, which is coming from here, straight away from our package.json file. And after that, it also expects this levels here. So the levels is by default set to 1. So I only wish to fund my direct dependencies for now. So I'm only setting leaving it to be set as default. But if you want, you can also specify it to be 2, 3, or n, depending on the number of levels you might have. So that's how I fetch the funding info first. And after fetching the funding info is of the form string and string. So it's an object with the key value pairs, with the key being the name of the package and the value being the lightning address. And if you're wondering, the lightning address would be split, which will already be trimmed. So if you set it as lightning : hello@getalb, you'll only be getting hello@getalb and the package name. For example, say Albi tools, then Albi tools, and the value will be hello@getalb. So that's how you receive the funding info. And once you have the funding info, you have to use this NWC URL in order to split sats. So that's how are we doing this? So here is where the Albi.js SDK package is coming into action. So from there, we are importing the Vebelen object, and the Vebelen is being used here. And this can also be used in the backend. So if we don't have something like this, so window.vebelen is not present in the backend, so there we can also use this package, and that's where Albi.js SDK comes really useful. So here we are using it for the splitting sats. So what we are doing is using the Nostr Vebelen provider, and we have to send it a Nostr Wallet Connect URL link. So here we are using that NWC URL that we just generated here, and we've sent it, and we are enabling the NWC, and then we are all set to send payments from our NWC URL that we just connected. So now in the already splitted amount that we have sent to this function, we have to split it again, because they are, for example, let's say 3 packages. Then we have to send the 30 by 3 again here, and then we have to send the split amount to each and every Lightning address which the dependency has. So we decide the split amount again here, and we set a for loop here saying that for each and every package name and LN address in the funding info, we send that one time, and we send split amount number of satoshis. So for that, we do the same process that we have did previously. So like we did here, so first we do the Lightning address class, and then we fetch it, and then we request an invoice and then send it. So we did the same thing here. So we first initiated the class, and then we use the fetch method to get the details of the Lightning address, and then we request an invoice using the amount that we have, and then we use NWC to send the payment. So now all we need to do is to send the payment request, and then I'm just for our own purposes to acknowledge that the sats have been sent. I'm logging the information here that the split amount sats have been sent to the package name. So let's try this out. So let's go to a new link, and let's also open the console so that we can see the message that the sats have been sent. So now I'm clicking on boost. So yeah, so I have to approve this payment, and the sats have been sent. And see the 3 sats, because I've sent 100 sats, and that's the split percentage has been sent to 10, and it always uses the floor. Math.floor is being used, so it will send 3 sats each to the 3 packages that we have. So that is package app, LBJS SDK, and the LB tools. And if you can check, all these have the funding information set. So that's how this works, and that's how the package zap library also works, and that's how you can send sats to your dependencies. Thank you so much for watching.
Awesome. That's cool. I think that's such a beautiful example of what we can do with this open source programmable money that we have there now.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about the different components that have been used there, because I think a lot of the building blocks come together there. We had like Nostr Wallet Connect on the one hand, we had WebLN, we had Lightning addresses, LNUL specifically. So maybe let's quickly go through those and talk about how these come together here. So
you want to share your screen or just chat about it?
No, just chat about it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. But yeah, we can jump into the code again also if you want. But yeah, so the first thing, if I understand it right, in the package.json, in the metadata of the package, similar to the description, similar to the name or whatever is in there, additionally now also a Lightning address is added.
Yeah.
Right. So that's all that the developer needs to do. There is no sign up, no nothing. It's like just like this information that is added. Very similar actually to what happens in the podcasting space in the RSS feed, right? Where we have the value recipient where Lightning information is added, or in the Nostr case where you also add your Lightning address to the profile to able to send subs. Yeah, a nice showcase actually where what the interoperability means here. So because like the sender doesn't care where the money is going to, where the sats is going to, and the recipient only decides where it should be received, right? So that is number one. So the number two is now like your tool is analyzing the package JSONs of the dependencies, right? It's iterating through all of them, getting this information, and requesting invoices, and now using Nostr Wallet Connect to programmatically send payments there. So another good example, because Nostr Wallet Connect, is used in various cases, mainly like actually to SAP and in the Nostr clients, but now here you can use it in the CLI tool, right? Or in the app itself to connect to a wallet, to give your application permissions to send a payment and automatically perform these actions. So yeah, super cool. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm trying
once
to. I'm trying.
I see your mind is is thinking. So, wanna share
Yeah,
your
yeah.
thoughts with us?
No, no, no. I'm still noodling over it, but I'm wondering, like, just in terms of getting this adopted, like, let's say officially by NPM or something like that, what would have to be the drivers to do that? Like, who do we have to talk?
By the way, I think the nice thing is it's reusing, like officially NPM already has this fund key in the package JSON. So that's already part of the package JSON standard. And there you can add information, whatever you want. You could even add your, I don't know, your website link to a donate page or something like that if you want that. The nice thing here is just because it's Lightning, we can automate that. You don't have to visit a website. You don't have to leave your terminal and go somewhere else. You can programmatically do that and actually even automate it while you're in the application. Am I describing that right, Aditya?
Yeah,
so,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I have an idea. We reach out to Lodash. It's Lodash? Is it Lodash? Was that the this library that's in every single NPM package? I think it's called Lodash, no?
You mean jQuery? But yeah, there is Lodash.
No.
There is
Yeah,
Lodash.
yeah.
Yeah. There is underscore,
Yeah.
and then there was Lodash, and Lodash is definitely still one of the super useful libraries.
Exactly. So what we do, we just get them to adopt it, and then everyone else's. So that means that they're in everyone else's repository and dependencies as well. But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to see how like this Lightning address can help drive some of this adoption. Easy, like, hey, spin it up. You can do it custodially if you want it quick. And, you know, I don't want to convince you about Bitcoin and all that. Or, you know, if you're like, you know, properly into the whole self-sovereign thing, which I think people should be. I mean, you know, you could spin up your own node and put a Lightning address on top of it. And then you could perform these kind of actions. And the interaction points are super interesting here, where like WebLN is like getting the invoice in whatever way through this Lightning address kind of standard. Boom, it asks the wallet, hey, do this thing. But then now you know you're doing it from command line, and those interaction points are also very interesting.
Yeah.
What's your yeah, go on, boy.
No, the nice thing here is also, again, you have like this one-to-many payments that you can automate. You as a user connect your wallet, and then suddenly you can send not only payments to one person but to multiple ones, like all these dependencies in this case. And even the package developers then also can forward those further if they want. You know, if you now think of something like the concept of Lightning Prism, where you now can say, okay, I receive a payment, and when I receive it, I'm also forwarding it again to wherever I want it. So this is a very powerful concept, actually.
To the team.
To the team, exactly. Yeah. Or you want to say, hey, I'm donating parts, you know, to a certain foundation or to a certain course that I want, or yeah, to the team or somebody else who you know, made some designs or wrote some documentation for it. So you can add these things. Yeah. I think you could even dedicate versions to certain people, right? So because ultimately it's the package JSON is version. So depending on like version 1.1 goes to that person, 1.1.2 goes to that person or something like that. So that's actually pretty cool.
It incentivizes people to put out versions faster. To release versions.
Yeah, maybe also,
actually.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. What's your hope or Aditya, what's been the most interesting thing for you in working on this project?
Yeah, the best thing is that like this funding thing already exists in the package.json thing. Like, it's already been specified by npm, but it's it's not being used by like properly, because most of them don't even have this specified. But if we can bring this to the Lightning space, and we can encourage more people, developers building on Bitcoin, to actually have this Lightning address there, then that would be really helpful, because we are also very familiar about this value for value thing that we like, and that's what the main thing that drives the nodes on Nostra as well, right? So we already have this same idea that everything has to be like, have to receive actual value instead of those likes or thumbs up that you keep sending on other social media. So this is actually bringing real value, and this is actually being helpful. And this and we also keep seeing those memes, right, that there's a lot of like awesome software, and then there's this small block here which is a dependency which is built ages ago, and this still keeps on running this whole thing together. So that's actually really useful here. And that if that guy actually uses a Lightning address to receive sats, then he would be a millionaire by now, right? Because a lot of people are using the same software, and like this actually comes really useful there. And yeah, that's been the very exciting part of this project.
Yeah,
Woman?
it's a case where I see, you know, like it has been used already. The fund key is already in the package.json specification, but it's just not possible in the fiat world. This is only possible, what you're doing here, it's only possible because we have like open source programmable money now.
Yeah.
So I think it greatly shows the power of what we can do here. So yeah.
Programmable money, prisms, and I think having such kind of like dashboards and stuff like that to split the funds amongst the team and stuff, that could be an interesting project also.
Yep.
You know, we were thinking about something kind of similar to these like prisms and stuff like that on Bolt Fund, because I actually want people to start. I find it very difficult to find certain tools to develop with and around Bitcoin and stuff. But I feel like this would be inventing NPM again if we like encourage people to post these things on Bolt Fund. So then you could find the packages and different, or like the tools and stuff that people are building as projects on Bolt Fund, basically. And we have this kind of thing with like team members as well, right? So you could add multiple people to a project, and that project could be entered inside of a hackathon, so you could like win prizes. So then I was thinking like we could split the funds to them in that way. But then also, if you did want to rebuild NPM on Bolt Fund, then you would also be able to use that same mechanism to do the funding to the users as well. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally, because it's just reusing the same information, right? So that's a nice thing. So you can have the Bolt Fund website, and it could even be a Bolt Fund Lightning address, for example, that does a certain Prism-like split payments also additionally that you add to the package.json.
Yeah, definitely a dashboard. I think would be nice here, especially for the projects which you know rely on like, or maybe some GitHub integration. Maybe that would.
I guess same thing. Maybe Aditya, you want to show that because you actually also have it on the website, right? So the website itself also has the option to search for a package and look if there is this information, this funding information in a package.json. If so, it gives you the website where you can then send sats to that project. You want to share this real quick? Because that's a good example where the same information, the same meta information that is added to the package.json is used in various ways, in the CLI, in application, as you showed, where the app is a dependency, but now also in just a front end that could be expanded to a dashboard-like website, as John says, you're saying, right? So Aditya, tell us what we see here.
Yeah. So am I audible?
Yep.
Yeah. So I just sent 2000 sats to Alby Tools. So basically we can also check other packages here. So for example, if there's Alby.js SDK that we just used now, then we can also check if it has, and if it has a lightning address, and if it has one, then you can see the boost button here, and you can also use it to send sats here. So for example, if I need to send sats, then it actually is a boost button. It's again a project by Alby. So what this does is this takes in a lightning address and gives you an awesome cool looking boost button here, which you can use it. If you long press it, you can get this whole option saying you can send any number of sats you want. So you can confirm and send 5 sats here, or otherwise you can also keep clicking on it like we see usually in other sites. So if you are click enough, then you have this 11,000 sats that you can send now.
So this website is loading the package JSON for this library, and with that injecting this boost button that again just allows people to send the sats to this lightning address. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's using the exact same information as all the other tools that you showed. Yeah, cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually, John, so imagine you have a bolt.fun project where you can then also link to a NPM package, because that's part of the bolt.fun team or bolt.fun project. And there also bolt.fun, again, could just use the information that is stored in the package JSON to allow people to do something on like on the bolt.fun website.
Yeah, so many thoughts going through my head around this, because it's definitely something like with these kind of packages, especially those that are useful within Bitcoin. I've been trying to figure out how to create like a resource to show people like, hey, these are like the best tools for that. Aditya, maybe we have a chat sometime to do some brainstorming how we can like help out with the with that website, because I think that could be one of the sources. One, it could be something useful for Bitcoin, but then it's also like it has broader uses of like monetizing, like for just open source developers to be able to monetize their packages and stuff like that. But I think it's also super useful to have a resource of like what are the tools can they use in Bitcoin? And would you, I guess this wouldn't only be limited to NPM, right? I mean, Rust, Cargo, whatever they call it. You could do it for any of these systems, right? Maybe actually, if they don't have that, because NPM is pretty well developed, if they don't have that funding kind of a parameter, you can propose it and say like, well, Bitcoin is the default one.
Yeah.
Right?
I think all package managers basically have a certain metadata file. And the nice thing is we just add a certain metadata information to this package information, no matter what language.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
And that's also why we chose to make this interoperable, because we're just adding the metadata to it, so it can be any lightning address, right? It should not be only one particular lightning address that you can receive sats on. It can be anything. So that's the main reason why we made it this way as well.
I'm just asking if there's any questions in the chat there. I saw Junior Ducato says he's going in late to work, so he gets a chance to watch live. Who needs work anywhere? You know, this is the place to be. Hey, open source. This is why
At
open
least a
source
fun
is
place to
funded.
be, right?
Exactly. If anyone have questions, just drop it down in the chat, and we'll take it. But yeah, I don't know. Where do you want to go with this?
But in terms of like brainstorming, for example, you can also combine these things with Noster batches or something like that. Or you talked about the dashboard where we can say, hey, now we have a leaderboard where you see, hey, these are the supporters of this package, and maybe they even get awarded a Noster badge that you can then use again in your Noster profile. And these kind of things. Again, the beauty of interoperability here that you can build on these puzzle pieces here. So.
Oh man, too many ideas now. I think, yeah, I think definitely like maybe some kind of like campaign, I'm really thinking big on like the marketing side, where this campaign is something like super easy from wherever you are in the world, monetize your package, or be able to accept donations for your packages, super easy, using Bitcoin. Download XYZ wallet, get this Lightning address, or if you want to do it a bit more complicated, run a node kind of thing, but I don't think that's absolutely necessary at the moment. Then, so we show how easy it is for people to actually like start accepting Bitcoin donations via this app. And then we kind of like start talking about the concept of this prisms, where like the larger projects would say like, okay, like you're able to get these funds, but hey, now you can actually like allocate it to your team in this kind of like way, and this is what prisms are, and and this is why these like things are kind of useful. I'm really kind of latching onto this kind of direction, and I think it's very much what Bitcoin needs. Like these kinds of like use cases that go beyond our space.
Yeah. And here we are still like Bitcoin. A lot of the stuff that we do is still very technical, right? Especially here, what we're doing, it's really still close to the protocols. We're still close to Bitcoin. So that's kind of the nice thing here is like, because it's for package managers and developers, this is all for people that are close to technology. They have an understanding what's going on. They might not understand Bitcoin and Lightning itself, but they don't need to. But they can understand the concept and easily get into that.
Yeah,
exactly. There is a question here, maybe a little off topic, but my Umbro via Raspberry Pi has been wonky. Is there a more reliable means of hosting your own node? Voltage, we got credits.
I guess voltage is the thing that you want to look into there. Running your LND node not on Umbro or on Raspberry Pi, but basically on their proven infrastructure.
Yeah, depends on what you like, why you want to run the node and stuff as well, right? If you're creating like a online service, you need it to be always online, for example, kind of makes sense. Like if you have like some AI bot or lots of payments or whatever, and you're offering it to a bunch of people, then yeah, maybe you're hosted in the cloud. If it's for your personal, then maybe you have some other kind of setup there. Raspberry Pis. We actually have a workshop tomorrow on robots and hardware, plus AI, plus Bitcoin. So this is going to be this is going to be a very interesting talk. I'm definitely not so big into hardware. We do have a nodl in the corner there, in the Belgrade Bitcoin Hub right there. There's a nodl, but it's just basically this packaged thing that you get. Node in the box, yeah. Well, hopefully that was helpful, Junior, the Keto. Yeah.
To maybe finish it up and get back to the topic that you were just bringing up, which is like, adoption and marketing. Like, we've seen that, it works. It's added to the projects, the packages that basically you contribute to, I guess. So some of the Albi tools there where it's in, but ultimately feedback is super important by everybody out there. And ultimately the question is, how do we get this adopted? How do we get package developers in the first step to add their Lightning information to the packages? So this is where we need everybody's help out there.
You heard it here. Let's please give some feedback. I think this is a very interesting mechanism that Aditya came up with. I think one of the next ecosystems that you guys could probably look into is Rust. I think in Bitcoin, we love to have Rust. They might have Lightning addresses already. The Flutter, I think there's some things in the space around Flutter as well. But yeah, definitely there's like so much Rust stuff going on. If we could do a similar kind of mechanism there, maybe we could get the folks like LDK, VDK, and stuff to adopt it. I think that would could set a good signal.
That would be amazing, yeah. And I think in terms of the CLI that you showed, I think even that can be reused, right? It's just like getting the information from either the package station, from the NPM repositories, or it loads it from the cargo directories or whatever it is. So it's just need to look into a different format. So maybe somebody who has some Rust knowledge can contribute there. Hint, hint. Somebody's looking for a nice project. I think Aditya, you can use some help there, right?
Where can people give that feedback, Aditya? I think you're muted. You're muted. I can't unmute you.
We lost your audio, but I think on the website there are GitHub links, and I think GitHub issues is the most straightforward way.
Okay. All right, and I will update the description with all the links and stuff that you could provide me. And yeah, this has been fantastic, Aditya. Yeah, I think I lost your audio. Still muted, but we got a couple comments. Tiago says this is really crazy good, so big up there. And also Miguel says, imagine an AI. Oh, very interesting. Imagine an AI that codes an NPM package that has a Lightning address in the package of JSON that pays itself to produce more code. Good, very interesting.
Singularity is near, right?
The singularity is near. I think Max will be very happy there. But yeah, this gets quite interesting. Even with like the auto GPT stuff, yeah, then okay. We're all done. Well, hopefully it leads to a world of abundance instead, right? Let's have a positive outlook on where all of this can go. I think we're in control of what the future looks like. So we're definitely
the future will be bright because we created, right? That's what they say.
Exactly. That's what they say. On that note, I bid you farewell. We'll be on in an hour with Hannah Rosenberg from Lightning Labs. She'll be doing a L402 workshop and using Aperture, right? How to monetize your API using Aperture. So I'm very interested to see what kind of new developments they've been doing there. They've got LNC. I haven't played around with it as yet. But yeah, super excited to see what that looks like. But yeah, Aditya,
Definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the presentation. We'll get those links and put the show notes down in the description. Thank you all so much. See you soon.
Okay then.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.